Good evening and welcome to the Women's Supa-Liga game for your Saturday night. So we just had a few issues with the audio earlier. As you would have seen on screen, Inter Perth scoring the first goal of the evening, taking a 1-goal lead. Tonight we have Inter Perth taking on Rockingham Cambio Cumbre. Inter Perth are currently sitting in 5th place on the ladder, while Cumbre are currently in 2nd. So a big game in the context of both of these teams' season. And we'll just get started going through the lineups for the evening. For Inter Perth is Kayla McCulloch, number 2, Nicaela Hughes, number 60, and Alicia Pickering, number 1, Jala Rudd, 65, Peyton Govia, number 86, Lily Yates, 84. There's a chance here, block. Lily Yates, 84, Caitlin Balenka, number 68, and Jessica Flannery rounding out the lineup for Inter Perth. And there's an opportunity, big save though made. Nicely done in goals there for Inter, and they'll now go on the counter. Here's a chance. Balenka's at the back post, and can she finish it? Big save. In goals by Skinner. And speaking of Skinner, we'll go through the Cumbre lineup for the evening. Gemma Skinner, number 88, Anna Denona, number 6, Ella Mastrantonio, 5, Elise Clemenson, 2, Amy Harrop, number 11, Ellis Glanfield, 7. Number 10 is Laura Pakinen, and Camille Harrell rounding out both teams for the evening in the number 8. And 1-0 is the lead for Inter, as you would have seen on that opening goal. As I mentioned earlier, Cumbre currently sitting in 2nd. They had a slower start to the season and they've built nicely. And a win today can get them within 6 points of first place and really solidify their spot in 2nd. Whilst Inter are looking to find a spot in that top 4, but right now there's a 9-point gap between them and the 4th placed West Coast Cobras. So they've got a bit of work to do. And that's a brilliant move by Glanfield, but nicely coming in with the defence there from Inter. And yes, they do have a lot of work to do, Inter, if they want to make a move towards the finals later in this season, and winning here tonight can be that first step potentially for them. And they've had a good start. Here's a chance for Cumbre, moving the ball nicely. See if they can find a way through the defence. Well done though, defensively by Inter. Inter back in goals. Now they'll clear. The ball bobbles around a bit, and Inter staying on the ball. Now they'll go long down that far flank. Here's McCulloch. And that'll go out into touch, and it'll be a Cumbre possession. And it'll be taken here on that far flank by Anna Denona. McCulloch now to bring it in from the sideline. There's a bit of discussion going on here. Looks like a bit of discussion between referee Lachlan McAlinden and we'll find out. Just a bit of discussion now with Coach Luke Christie and the referee. That earlier discussion was with Camille Harrell, and it will now be brought back into play now as we're about to get underway again. McCulloch to bring it in, and she has Rad waiting. There's a shot by Rad, and the block made. Strong defensively there by Ellis Glanfield. Such a solid contributor on this team always. There's Rad, goes back to, and in the end it's going to be straight out into touch. They just lost it there, couldn't quite control it. Cumbre now move the ball around. Here's Denona. Denona goes back to Skinner, who have been great in goals for Cumbre all season. Glanfield, long ball, chance, and Rudd will come in and clear that one away. Be brought back in, chance still. Rudd gets the clearing boot, and now off the head of Balenka. There's a bit of a high boot there, and it will be called on Glanfield, I believe. But in fact, it'll be Camille Harrell getting the call. Definitely a high boot appeared to be there. And on comes Lily Yates. Lily Yates has scored a number of goals for Inter Perth this season. She's been very, very strong. Here's Balanka, has Yates at the back post. Chance, and just lost control of the ball at that last moment. And now Cumbre on the counter. Inter do well to steady them. And here's Harrell, long ball, finding Glanfield. Glanfield now beats one defender, gets a shot off and can't beat the keeper in goals. In comes Balanka, calls for a handball, not rewarded, and Balanka will just hammer that away. Four minutes into this first half of futsal here. It'll now be brought in by Harrell. She has Master Antonio waiting, and that is just once again smashed away by Caitlin Balanka. Here's a chance and just wide left, but not a bad effort there by Denona. Now Yates. Rudd, Balanka. They move it around, and that's brilliant. Cutting two defenders. There's a great pass there by Flannery. It still will remain with Inter despite it going out to touch, and will it be a reverse? Looks like it will in fact be a Cumbre ball. And this is the start that Inter needed coming into this game. Cumbre sitting in second place on the ladder. And to come out with an early goal is exactly what they were after. That ball was just, communication wasn't quite there, and it couldn't find her intended target in Denona. And it'll be brought back in now for Inter. Balanka, T. Yates. Back to Balanka. Thought about going through to Hughes, decides against it, takes it herself. Now goes to Hughes. And they'll keep moving the ball around well. This is great possession, and it creates an opportunity for Flannery. Can she get a shot off? She go inside to Yates, who just loses it. And a great opportunity there goes begging. But it'll still be a corner. So the chance is still there for Inter. And there's a big opportunity, but straight into the hands of Skinner. That ball just behind the target. Does well though, Mash Antonio, to get back onto it. And will it be a Cumbre ball? Bit of physicality there between Master Antonio and Balanka. Going to be brought back in now. Here's a shot, block made. And that'll be last off of the back of Jessica Flannery. And it'll be a Cumbre ball. Here's a chance, Master Antonio gives it off. Glanfield, great ball to the back post and just couldn't quite get it through though. Flannery got just that slight touch, preventing it from getting through. And will that win Cumbre a corner? It looks like it will. And they've got an opportunity to equalise if they can find a way through this Inter defence right here. And here's the chance, and didn't get the connection she was after. Not a bad, it was a great ball in fact, but Glanfield just couldn't quite keep it on target off that right boot, and that will avoid everyone and go straight out into touch and back into the possession of Inter Perth. That will be last off, newly substituted on Peyton Govia for Inter Perth. And now on for Cumbre. Early touch for Pakinen. Did she get that through? She couldn't quite in the end. It ended up back in the possession of Hughes, but it'll go into touch, and now it's Cumbre's ball. 5 minutes into this first half of futsal. That one's intercepted. Now lost chance. Big save made. And a couple saves early made by Inter, and they've both been crucial because they could be down in this game. They've had a lot of opportunity, Cumbre, and here's a chance on the turnover. Inter, can they punish Cumbre? And not enough on the shot, saved by Skinner. Now on the counter, that throw just gets out of the reach of the target. Balanka, Pakinen gets a boot in there, goes down, and the foul will be called on Balanka. And doesn't seem to be any complaints from Caitlin Balanka. And it'll be a Cumbre ball. Pakinen. Master Antonio. Can she get it through? She did, but Harrop just couldn't control it. Govia now involved a couple times. She received it from Flannery. Getting Hughes involved now, but there's the turnover. Now a chance for an equaliser. Can they find a way through? Shot, deflection, cleared. And done very well there, did Nicola Hughes. Can she get it through? Not quite. Just out of the reach. It ends up with Skinner. Long ball, that's a great throw. It'll hit a target in a perfect position for a chance, but just didn't make the most of it. Now it's Inter on the counter. Now they look to take off. Here is Govia. She'll go all the way back using Hughes. Now McCulloch goes wide and receives it back now. McCulloch now gives it off to Hughes. Hughes. Dangerous, but okay there by Govia. Can they get it through? I think the target there was Govia, but couldn't get through Pakinen's boot. As now Cumbre take off. Down the line. They need a goal back, and I think the intention there was to leave it, but she ended up getting run over, and it will be a foul against Cumbre. Foul called on Elise Clemenson now on for, I think, her first minutes for the evening. And that is now one foul each. And then the scoreboard is obviously 1-0 in favour of Inter Perth. That's turned over, and probably could have controlled it there, Clemenson, but in the end decided just to clear it. There's a shot, and just wide left, didn't trouble Skinner. And it will now be a Cumbre ball, but Inter seem to be putting pressure on here. Can they get out of it? They're in a bit of trouble. Master Antonio through the middle. Shot straight off the head, I think. Deflected straight off of Elise Clemenson, and it'll be an Inter Perth ball. Bring it into play. Rudd now on. Here's McCulloch. That's a nice idea. Finds her target. The Skinner gets there. And a chance, and across the face of goals. What a great play that was by Kayla McCulloch. She was instructing play, asking her teammates to move for her, and ended up finding her on the pass down the line. But in the end, just not finished after Skinner did leave the goals wide open. Denona. Master Antonio. Get it back. That's a nice idea, but just too heavy on the ball. And Lily Yates will happily watch that go out into touch. Yates, long ball, and it's a good one. Rudd's there, but it's going to be out of her reach, is it? Couldn't quite keep it in. It was a nice idea and looked to be a really good ball, but just seemed to skid on, and Rudd could not chase it down. Here's a long ball. Balanka. Straight into the hands of Skinner. And that ball is going to be last off of Cumbre, off of Clemenson's boot, and it'll be Lily Yates to take. She'll go to Balanka, who uses McCulloch, has Rudd next if she wants it, decides not. Now goes the other way. That far flank is Balanka. McCulloch wanted the Balanka run, and she got it in the end, a bit late, but the chance, and brilliant work by both parties there. Balanka chasing it down and Skinner meeting her at the ball. And it'll be Cumbre's possession last off Balanka. Thoughts about a long ball here by Denona, and what a ball that is! Just out of her reach though. So close to finding Harrell, but a great idea. The execution was pretty good too. Just not quite perfect enough. Long ball by Yates. Is it almost turned over? Not quite. McCulloch receives a bit of a push from Harrell. It's going to end up back with Cumbre in Clemenson, and she will take her time, keep it in, and look to build for Cumbre. We're almost halfway through this first half. Denona across the centre of the court, finding Harrell. Harrell still going, tries to beat two defenders, cannot. McCulloch almost receives that, but the ball from Yates just couldn't find her. Glanfield. Chance, and there's a block, and it'll be a Cumbre corner. You'd have to say they probably had more opportunities throughout this game, Cumbre, than Inter. Obviously, the one goal is all that matters in terms of the scoreboard, and that was Inter early in this game. But since then, Cumbre really started to gain control of the game. They just haven't been able to finish, and that one will go into touch. And it will be taken by Cumbre. Glanfield gets it through. Master Antonio can't keep it. Now Balenka. Shot! Massive save by Gemma Skinner. Diving out to that top right corner of the goals, and brilliant save, stopping a certain goal off the boot of Balenka. McCulloch through to Rudd. She can finish this. But the connection wasn't what she was after. There's a long ball. Chance now. Can they equalise? They can! What a finish. Master Antonio with the assist, and absolutely hammered into the back of the nets by Camille Harrell. And 1-1 is the score. And Cumbre come roaring back into this game. And that right there shows that the impact that having a strong keeper can have. Gemma Skinner made that big save, stopped the 2-0 lead, and going down the other end immediately, Cumbre hammer an equaliser into the back of the net. As now they look to try and build on this momentum and potentially go up by a goal. And they'll keep possession here, will they? They will, in fact. This is great ball movement, but there's the turnover. Rudd, Yates, back to Rudd, through the middle, and miscommunication there, couldn't quite find her target, and Jess Flannery. And it'll be a Cumbre ball taken in goals. But a very high quality game of futsal we've seen so far. Two teams with a lot to play for, and tight as you would expect. A bit of a surprise that Inter are so low on the ladder. They have a strong team and they've had some great performances throughout the season. But I suppose it just hasn't quite all fallen into place yet, but there's still a lot of time left in the season. In this summer season 2025, 2026, and that ball goes out. Yates thought about it, Rudd high. Nowhere near it in the end. That's a great ball through. Now the chance for a second goal, and just wide left. It's been really good futsal to watch. The last time these two teams did come head to head, it was Cumbre getting the victory 6-3. That was back in November, early in the season in round 7. 6-3 was that result, and Cumbre will be looking for something similar here tonight. Currently 1 apiece. Inter will be looking to change their fortunes this time around. Kayla McCulloch from, as that ball goes long, chance and just wide, but Kayla McCulloch from Inter Perth, the only player in this game who is a representative of the team of the week from last round. She had a great performance last week and rightfully earned her spot in that lineup. She's here playing tonight on the bench at the moment. Denona loses it, has she? She'll happily let that go, and I think that'll be last off Balenka. No, it'll be off Denona. And it'll be an Inter ball, Lily Yates to take. And that ball never really looked likely. And Skinner now in goals. Long ball, and that almost deflects in. Very dangerous, and a great throw by Skinner. Almost somehow bouncing off the boot of Glanfield. And now they'll take off. Will Cumbre Harrell just overran it from Clemenson's ball. And now on comes another substitution for Inter Perth. That is Peyton Govia coming on. Can she have an impact? That ball's not going to find any teammates. Another great ball by Gemma Skinner. That ball go out. That was a great ball, but in the end, just not quite finding Flannery. I like the idea. Now Skinner. Long and straight through the middle. Now a chance, and big save again by Skinner. That one seems to be almost going to find that bottom right corner. As Cumbre now on the counter. What a ball. This is for the lead. Big save. And now the clearance. And it looks like a timeout will be called by Cumbre. In fact, you think that'll be right now. And that will do us for the first 12 minutes of futsal here at Subiaco. 1 goal apiece in this match. Cumbre taking on Inter Perth. As I mentioned, such a big game in the context of the season. It's been a fairly even match so far. It's been really controlled by Inter in the passing game, as they often do. They are very well drilled, very well coached by Greg Farrell, and they move the ball around well. Tonight, obviously, Betim Zeba taking the coaching responsibilities. Passing game and possession have been fairly even, but they have been led by Inter Perth, and the 1-1 score is probably about fair. Both teams have had their opportunities. But it's been a great game to watch so far, and it looks like we're going to be getting underway very, very shortly. As coaches Luke Christie and Betim Zeba just instructing the troops on what they should do coming out of this timeout break. And we're about to get underway here. Obviously, the ladder at the moment shows the Coburn Wolves sitting well clear on top of the table. 9 points clear of second place Cumbre. So they are going to be very hard to beat for the premiership this season. And Braza, their first season in the Supa-Liga, has obviously been exciting for them, but it hasn't quite gone the way they would have hoped, and they are still looking for a result this season. Now here's a Cumbre possession, there's a shot, and that's wide. Long throw, good one. Now off the head, forcing the Skinner save was that header from Flannery. And that will win a corner for Inter. A stunning result last night for Inter in the Men's Superliga. They fell to Furia 3-2 in a game that was full of drama. 3 red cards for Inter and 1 for Furia. And that was the first men's loss for Inter Perth in, I believe, 2 seasons if you exclude finals, which was a shocking result. And they'll be trying, as Belanca's shot goes high, they'll be trying to reverse that result here tonight in the women's. A Skinner and goals. There's a long ball. Ball's deflected, and it'll be an Inter ball.
Thank you.
Brought back into touch there from Govia. Can't keep it in on that far flank, and Cumbre will happily take possession back. Now on the counter, interception from Inter. Chance, great ball, back post, this could be finished. And Skinner did very well, just cutting that angle off. Now she'll go long. McCulloch gets a head in there and forces a corner. It was Master Antonio waiting and she's still there, she'll take the corner. Master Antonio almost loses it. Big block coming in there off of that shot by Harrell. We'll now bring it in from the sideline. Turns it over there dangerously. They've got numbers back though, Cumbre defensively. They'll go to the far flank. Now they'll find a target almost, but just out of the reach there of Flannery. In fact, Govia it was. Cumbre will bring it into play, but never really going to trouble any defence with that ball straight to the keeper. Here's McCulloch now. And a nice idea, but just out of the reach of the target. Up front is now Cumbre on the counter, take off, but numbers are back for Inter and forces the long shot, which is wide. Now McCulloch. Call it Govia behind the target. Chance! Big save on the Flannery shot by Skinner. And ever since that opening goal, Skinner has been flawless. Making a number of big saves. Now McCulloch to bring it in from the sideline. Big shot, but high off of it, the boot of Hughes. Cumbre look to build. 6 minutes and just over remaining in this first half of futsal. Little ball outside there was nice from Clemenson. She'll receive it back. She'll give it off to Master Antonio. Nice ball through. Off of the boot there of Rudd. Nice defence. She may get it back here, Rudd. I think she was the target from McCulloch, but didn't get to her. That's a brilliant little back heel. Right, brilliantly done in goals, cutting off the angle and getting to the ball for the attacker. And that one, I think McCulloch. In fact, that was Govia who kept running when her teammate was hoping that she wouldn't have. And now Cumbre with the ball, long ball, easily taken by the keeper. Govia, McCulloch. Govia and McCulloch combining a few times here. Now Rudd, McCulloch, Govia, McCulloch. Tries to find Rudd, that'll be last off of her. She can't keep it in. She does keep it in though. Great use of the body. And it ends up being cleared quite dangerously, but brilliantly done overall in defence. Be a corner ball for McCulloch. That ball was just wide right. In fact, it looks like it did take a Cumbre deflection on the way through, and it will be a corner with a chance for Inter to take the lead. Shot, and it's in! What a finish! And that'll be a 2-1 lead, and that caught a bit of, I believe, post and crossbar. And Inter had that early lead, conceded, and now take the lead back, courtesy of an unbelievable finish by Nicola Hughes. And what a start for Inter. Coming into this game, if you go by ladder position, the underdogs, and they are really taking it up to the second place Cumbre. Now it's going to be a question of whether or not they can sustain this effort throughout the whole 40 minutes of play. And that is a good sign there from the defence of Belenka. Now Master Antonio through straight to the keeper. And Inter now are looking very good out there. have the lead, and another goal would make Cumbre really start to sweat. So Cumbre need to find a way to get an equaliser, ideally before the end of this half. Here's McCulloch. McCulloch to Yates. Yates with a loopy ball through the middle, a bit of a nothing ball. They'll lose it. Master Antonio on the counter, out to Clemenson, back to Master Antonio. Can they keep that in there off the ball of Glanfield? They can't, and that's an interpossession now to take by Rudd. Rudd, Balanka, McCulloch, Yates, McCulloch, Rudd. In fact, that's Balanka. And a deflection there, it's going to end up straight back in goals. In fact, it'll be a ball from touch from McCulloch. And what a ball that is. Balanka, chip, chance, Yates, and caught the crossbar. But what a ball. And Yates just unable to chip Skinner. In fact, she did chip her, but couldn't keep it under that crossbar. But Inter are looking very solid out there with a goal and a few opportunities already that they've just had recently to take that 2-goal lead, and that would be very crucial to their hopes of coming out of this with 3 points. Very crucial 3 points, I must add. Now Denona, and unable to be kept in there by Glanfield. Rudd gives it off to McCulloch. Yates, Balanka. Back to Rudd, now McCulloch again. Dangerous here, and a handball called, and it was finished. And the keeper did stop, but a handball will be called against Cumbre. Yates keeps it in, gets it back to McCulloch. Now Rudd can't keep it in. It's 3 minutes to go now in this first half. 2-1 the lead for Inter. There's no Cumbre look to make a move, and that ball, I think that caught the back post, just next to the side netting. And that will win a goal throw for Inter Perth. Yates, McCulloch, Rudd, back to McCulloch. Yeah, Yates tries to get it past the defender. Master Antonio will be called for the handball. Rudd, Balanka, good ball through to McCulloch. Can she take off? Tries to, but can't. And now a chance. Great defence there by Rudd. And now Rudd! And that's wide. And not happy there are the Cumbre bench and coach with the rolling foul called. Chance, and is it finished? It is! What a goal from the impossible angle. Anna Denona, and just as they were talking about the advantage not being called, they end up getting a reward anyway. And Anna Denona puts it away to the score. What a finish from that angle. Yates, Rudd, Balanka. Can't find McCulloch, that'll go out. Now Denona, Master Antonio. Cumbre now look to take their first lead of the game. And that'll have to be cleared by Balanka, and is so effectively. And what a crucial goal. And Denona just scored as that ball is way high and way wide. What a crucial goal to put that through just before the end of the first half and really keep Cumbre in striking distance of a victory. Here is Yates, tries to go down the line. Can't beat Glanfield. Glanfield booed in there by Yates. Now Balenka takes on Denona. Goes down the line, does brilliantly, but Denona does better. Gets back in there with that sliding defensive tackle. And with 94 seconds remaining in this first half, it is imperative for both teams that they don't allow any defensive lapses. The long ball. Here's a chance, and that almost found the bottom right corner. Wasn't a whole way off. Skinner will now take. Long throw, isn't going to get to her target, but now it will end up with Mastro Antonio. Chance, Mastro Antonio finished, and an empty net, and Ella Mastro Antonio made no mistake, and within the space of about 30 seconds, a 1-goal lead for Inter has turned into a 1-goal deficit. Cumbre have come back hard, and they are showing their credentials as a contender this season. Currently sitting second on the ladder, and they've been challenged here tonight. But so far, every question that has been asked of them, they've had the answers. McCulloch gets it through, but loses it, wins it back, McCulloch. And they will lose control of that into Perth. In fact, there might have been a boot there from Clemenson. But Inter are still right in this game. A minute and just over remaining. Turnover, Glanfield. Might have lost it. She has. Jala Rudd. And that ball will go out and it'll be a goal throw for Skinner. Long throw by Skinner, and too long. In the end, we'll now end up back with Inter. Here's a long ball, Rudd is there, controls it, not quite. It was a very hard ball to control. And that almost deflects in. Skinner was ready for it. Skinner, long ball, ends up in goals. Now on the counter. Here go Inter. McCulloch making a run. Will she receive it? I think that was actually intended for her, but wasn't really even in the area in the end. Long ball by Clemenson, and Yates gets a boot in, defensively clearing it. Taken by Glanfield. In fact, taken by Kimball Harrell. Harrell gives it to Glanfield, but Jala Rudd uses her body brilliantly. Cleared by Yates, but a foul called on Glanfield. And that will be an Inter ball, and that is now 4 fouls for Cumbre. I don't think it's going to be any concern with 16 seconds to go. Long ball, Glanfield gets a boot in there. Ends up getting cleared by Clemenson. A long way away. And we are about to go into the halftime break. Very, very shortly. Going to end up there back with Skinner, and the clock will run out, and 3-2 is the lead going into the half. Inter had that lead for such a long period of the game, but Cumbre have now taken the lead. 3-2 is the score, and with just under 4 minutes to go until we get back underway, don't go anywhere.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week at Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And welcome back to what is now about to commence the second half of this 3-2 game between Cumbre, who are currently leading over Inter Perth. It was a very tight tussle in the first half. It was Inter having the lead for most of the half. It was a bit of a goal for goal type first 4 goals of the game. It was a 1-0 to Inter. Cumbre struck back. 2-1 to Inter. Cumbre struck back, and now Cumbre, just at that last moment, have now taken the lead. As that ball will go out into touch, and it'll be taken by Mastrantonio. Ball goes through, but Yates gets that last touch, not allowing it to get to Harrell. Harrell will now bring it from the sideline. Clemenson off to Denona. Mastrantonio controls it well. 2 defenders to beat and can't get it through the legs of McCulloch. Thought about going long there, did Mastrantonio, but couldn't control it. Clemenson, Harrell, and out of the reach of Denona, and it'll be brought back in by Inter Perth from goals. McCulloch, in fact Yates gives it to McCulloch. Good ball through, just lost now. Denona on the counter, resets smartly, and Master Antonio.
Up we go, up we go.
They'll keep possession. Will Cumbre moving the ball around well, but that ball's out of the reach for everyone. And Pickering will go and collect in goals. Hand it off to her teammate as Inter are about to get back underway. Yates, McCulloch. Inter looking to build. Now Yates tries to get it through to McCulloch. Can't, and Cumbre are really starting to assert their authority on this game now, using their physicality and their experience against a fairly young Inter Perth lineup. McCulloch through, chance for the equaliser. Can she get a boot to it? She's got to just have a shot. Can't get it around, and big save by Skinner. A great effort by Jessica Flannery. Couldn't quite finish it off. And still the lead is 3-2. Taken by McCulloch. Almost deflects in, and Skinner once again ready for it. That ball will go straight out and now into the possession of Gemma Skinner. That ball deflects and it's gone into touch, and it'll be taken now by Inter. And Inter still looking to equalise. 2 minutes into this second half of play. Yates gives it off. It's turned over now.
Well done, girls. Great
That'll be
recovery.
kept in the end nicely by Yates. Did very well. McCulloch, high ball to Yates and cleared by Harrell. Clemenson with a chance. And wide right.
Nikki, come off.
And now into go. That'll be off of Denona. Nicely done defensively. Master Antonio off to Harrell. Big chance. Goes begging for Denona. In fact, Master Antonio. And it'll be an Inter ball. And that will now be taken by Pickering in goals, who has also been strong. Both keepers have made a number of saves. Rudd, nice idea, but just too far out in front of Flannery. And it'll now be a Cumbre ball. And it'll be taken by Master Antonio. Denona, Master Antonio. Long ball, McCulloch will leave, and Pickering will take, will she? In fact, it might be a side ball. McCulloch. Slowly moving the ball forward. Ball goes to the sideline and intercepted nicely by Ellis Glanfield. Rudd. Flannery. Yates back to Flannery. Now goes long, but no one there.
Gala, stop in the middle. Up high, Jess. Jess, step in front of her. Jess, go front.
Master Antonio. Yates comes in. Now Glanfield. High ball. Master Antonio. Chance. Denona. Massive strike and just high. And it looks like it may have just been tipped by Pickering in goals. So well done by her getting up there and finding a way to thwart that attempt off. Forcing the corner. Rudd. It'll be cleared by Yates. But they can go here. Can Inter. Can't find a way through. Flannery. It's a 2-on-1. Jala Rudd with a shot and wide. Massive chance goes begging.
Yes, well done. Bad luck, Jala. Press now.
Skinner brings it in from goals.
Good.
Harrell. Out wide, Denona too high. She had Glanfield all on her own, but too high. Yates will take. Here's a long ball. In comes Denona. And that will go out. And now to be taken by Flannery. Flannery gives it off and now go into Rudd. No one there. Belanka was the closest teammate, but just wide left of her.
Jess, left shoulder.
Long ball cleared by Flannery. Max Antonio, chance. This can make it a 2-goal lead. Big save by Pickering and Rudd will clear. Long ball, Glanfield, and in comes Belanka, getting back strong defensively as Glanfield will take the corner. Needless to say that Inter do need the next goal, but right now it seems to be a lot of Cumbre controlling the attack. Down the line was Harrell trying to take it, but that will end up being cleared straight in to the Inter Perth bench. Max Antonio beats Flannery, gets a shot off and blocked by Govia.
Right, Jeff.
Ball through, this could be finished. And just not on target, I think it might have been a pass. And Harrell, not a whole way off, but cleared by Pickering on the goal line. And Cumbre are really threatening to punish Inter. They're not far away from taking a 2-goal lead. Can this one get through? And that was dangerously deflected off of, I believe, Belanka. Another chance. This one gets through. Glanfield can't get a boot to it. And now come Inter on the counter and cleared by Harrell.
Nothing wrong with that, no.
It's been such an intense game and Inter are holding up so strongly defensively. Here's Govia. Belanka. Takes a nice touch, long ball, way, way too long.
It's a 2v1, but they're not in Linderville. Step in front, step in front. Go, Jay, go!
Yeah, Cumbre have a chance and Belanka gets there, but it might have not gone out. In fact, it's just gone out and very professional. Yeah, by Belanka, just slowing the play down, just that tad. That ball can get through, ends up with Pickering off at the boot of Harrop. Great little 1-2 between Belanka and Rudd. Belanka ends up with it. She'll shoot on the right and just wide.
Take your time.
And that may have won a corner now for Inter. A chance to equalise. Belanka, brilliant ball, Rudd! Was there a deflection? Doesn't appear to be, but not far off that shot. Long ball by Skinner. Finds Clemenson just off her back. Belanka gives it off. Hughes. Yates. Yates will get it back and can't get anything on it. She received it from Flannery, who's been good in these last few minutes, played a fair bit of time. She's definitely shown a lot of promise.
Lily, press.
Long ball.
Turn.
There's an Inter header, clearing that from defence. Belanka, Yates. Belanka, can she get a shot off? Nice back heel and almost found Yates. Had to be cleared. There was no keeper in goals. And Inter are pressing.
You alright? That brain cell gets shaken, did it?
They'll keep the ball here. Now come Cumbre on the counter. Max Antonio trying to get to the ball. Nicely controlled there by Hughes. It's going to end up back with Cumbre. Chance. That would have almost been a dagger, but it's going to go the other way now. Is it turned over? It is. It's going to end up back with Inter. Balanka can't get to it. Manages to keep it in, and now it evades everybody.
Yes, next up.
And that is going to be a goal throw.
Lily, press now.
And that ball is down the line and it'll be taken by Hughes. In fact, it'll be taken by Lily Yates, will it? It will, and she'll now give it to Hughes. Hughes, McCulloch, Balanka. Back to McCulloch. Gives it to Balanka, McCulloch again. Might have turned it over. Foul called though. And it will be a Cumbre foul. That is their first foul of the second half. Inter have won themselves. It'll be taken by Balanka. Balanka long ball straight into the back of Clemenson. Clemenson gets it now. Now they've got a chance on the counter. Brilliantly done by Balanka because Donona was in space. That ball gets through. Glanfield. Shot blocked by Yates. Donona there. Corner one for Cumbre. Here's Donona. Long high ball. Chance for Glanfield, and that went straight into the clouds. And it'll be an Inter ball. Here's Balanka. Balanka to Hughes. Now McCulloch. Yates. Balanka. Contact there made by Donona. No foul called. In fact, that was Max Antonio. Down the line, gets a shot off. And gee whiz, that was not far off. What a play there by Ella Mastrantonio coming in defensively. And it looks like Balanka is a bit worse for wear in the middle of the court, that contest there for Mastrantonio. She seems to be grabbing her knee. Might have been a bit of knee-to-knee contact, but obviously not 100% sure, and hopefully all is okay. Got a big 13 minutes of futsal action to come here from Subiaco. 3-2, still the score. It's been a tight tussle in the second half with no goal scorers as of yet. And don't go anywhere either after this game, because two big games are coming up in the men's Supa-Liga to finish out the night. The first game will be the Arqam Eagles taking on the Coburn Wolves, and the second will be the West Coast Cobras going head-to-head with the Condors Futsal Club, who, speaking of the Condors, they are in some great form. But back to this game, Hughes gives it off to Balanka. Might end up back with Hughes. Try to find Balanka. Balanka still loses it now. Here's Glanfield. Off to Donona. Tries to go back to Glanfield. Glanfield will receive. She'll keep it in. And that shot almost drops into an awkward position from Clemenson. But to no reward. Inter still have an opportunity now to equalise. Here's Yates. Off to Balanka. Yates. McCulloch. Yates. Down the line goes Balanka. Couldn't get it on that 1-2.
Nick, get a shot. Close to the ball, close to the ball.
They'll be brought in now from touch for Inter. They've still got a chance to equalise. It's such a huge game, as I mentioned a few times. They've got to find points if they want to have a chance later in the season. Hughes, and that ball is way high. And if you can just sneak into the finals, you just never know. Obviously, last night, Furia in the men's, they were last on the ladder coming into it, coming up against had a game in hand. So really, first place into Perth. And anything can happen in futsal, as we learnt last night. So if they can just find a way to find their way into finals, any team can fancy their chances. That ball is going to end up with Pickering in goals.
Don't let her turn back. Press on her.
That'll be last off Cumbre. Is it kept in by Hughes? And she probably could have left that. I think that was last off of Harrell. But it will now be a Cumbre ball.
It was still in and then she touched it.
Probably could have let that go. But no drama done as they've won the ball back here. Here's Yates. Tries to go through. Can't find her target. Chance shot, saved by Skinner. Nice effort by Hughes, but straight at the keeper, so no trouble for Gemma Skinner. That goes out.
Kayla above the ball. Nikki in front of this one.
Harrell. Denona. Clemenson. Harrell.
Hayden Hunt.
Tries to go through the middle, but no one there. And that ball is cleared by Hughes.
4 feet tall. 4 feet 2. 4 feet 2, Nick. It's got to be better pass. Press, press, press!
And that ball cleared by Clemenson and no one receiving.
Peyton, jump
Out into touch. We're almost halfway through this second half of futsal here. And this game is on a knife's edge. That ball go through, chance. And it looks like it was just out. And it'll be an inter ball. Yates, McCulloch, long ball. That gets through. Hughes to equalise. And couldn't get the connection she was after, but great ball by Kayla McCulloch. There's a long throw, and that'll catch a bit of the netting.
Nikki, come here.
Forcing now an inter ball. Flannery, a couple involvements there. Yates. That stays in. Harrell, Landfield, goes back to Skinner. And she'll loop it over the top now for Landfield, who goes through, tries to find the back post. Master Antonio was there, couldn't get through. Now on the counter, what a run by Flannery. And she's won her team a ball in a dangerous spot. 10 minutes to go. And it'll be an inter ball. Looks like Flannery will receive. She'll get a long high ball. Respect the effort there from Lily Yates. Couldn't quite get it in the end. But she's ended up winning a side ball for Inter. McCulloch. Deflected off of Harrell. McCulloch. That'll be off the head of Yates. And they're just happy to just let that roll. Cumbre. And that's a goal throw. Long ball by Skinner. Ends up with Pickering. Pickering. Govia. Back to now Flannery. McCulloch. Nice idea. Tries to find Flannery again. But that will go out. Landfield loses it. Chance for Govia. Block made, and Skinner now will clean that up fairly comfortably. Long ball. Here's Glanfield. Nice bit of control. Can she get it through? No. Govia does brilliant. She'll go down, and a foul will be called.
Lily, are you good? You want a sub? Alright, Jala.
And Glanfield not too happy with the call. That is now 2 fouls for the half for Cumbre. Once again, no real concern as of yet. McCulloch, Govia. Govia tries to get it through and can't.
Peyton, that's where she was. Play where she's going.
Now Cumbre look to build again.
Jala, stay in between her and the ball. Step in between her and the ball. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Here's a long ball. Blanfield. And that shot goes into the side net.
AJ, she's not going to give you the ball. You got to get it yourself.
Here's Rudd. And I think McCulloch was the intended target there, but not really in the vicinity.
Peyton, go, go, go. Jala in front.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Inter. And they won with the ball back. Govia, can she get a shot off? Nice bit of control there. End up giving it to Flannery. Shot. And Inter are putting a lot of pressure now on Cumbre.
Follow runners. Jess, she's going.
Are right in this game. Here's a long ball. In comes Rudd. Rudd will get onto this. Can she get a shot off? I think she might. She'll go back now. Govia turns it over. Master Antonio on the counter. Resets. Master Antonio ended up pouncing on it, but Rudd there. And very intense game of futsal with just under 9 minutes remaining. Denona goes back. Master Antonio gets it through. Here's a chance. Does well to get back onto that. Does Harrop. Denona, she'll get a shot off, and that might do it. You'd think a goal would make it very tough for Inter, but couldn't quite get through. Pickering greatly done on her left boot. Leg, in fact, getting it out there and stopping that goal. Rudd gives it to McCulloch. McCulloch now finds Govia. Govia through, but Denona there. And now off on the counter go Cumbre. Master Antonio, she'll reset. McCulloch wins it. Rudd. Govia. Master Antonio, space. Here's Harrell. This will be big. Pickering with a save and clears. Master Antonio, dangerous. In came Flannery, but no damage done. And Cumbre ended up getting a shot off there from Harrell. Block made by Govia. Here's a sideline ball brought in, and Master Antonio almost loses her footing. McCulloch's got to get there defensively, and that's a goal. And that goal is huge. A great finish by Master Antonio. And that is a brilliant finish. Found that bottom left corner.
AJ, off you go. Jess, come this side.
And that creates a 4-2 lead for Cumbre. Took on the defence and managed to beat Pickering on the finish.
AJ, you go on that side. Go now.
Now Inter need the next goal. They definitely had a few chances there. And unfortunately for them, that Cumbre goal makes the equation a whole lot harder. And that one wasn't far off, but you can see the fifth man has been brought out now, with Pickering playing outside of goals. Here's a corner ball. Hughes, block made by Amy Harrop. Hughes again. That one comes off Clemenson. Now off goes Denona, long ball. No keeper and goals. And the ball's just wide. And Denona almost putting another dagger into this comeback hope of Inter. You'd think one more goal for Inter. In fact, one more goal for Cumbre would make it very, very tough for Inter to get back into this game. They just need the next one. It is imperative. McCulloch, Balanka, in fact Hughes. McCulloch again. Pickering, inside chance, and it's a goal through the legs of Gemma Skinner. And what a goal for Inter Perth. 4-3 is the lead. And just as they brought that fifth man out, finished off the head of Jessica Flannery. And just under 7 minutes remaining. 4-3 is the lead. And we'll be back with you in just under a minute. We're about to get back underway, and that goal from Jessica Flannery has given hope to Inter Perth just when they needed it. 4-3 is the lead. They are right in this game. Cumbre now coming out of their huddle from the timeout, looking to defend this 1-goal lead, and the question will be whether or not Inter do play and continue to play with that fifth man, which worked to perfection as soon as they brought it out. Now here you go, Cumbre. Master Antonio loses it, couldn't find Denona, and Inter are right back into this. They've got the momentum. Here's Flannery, goes to McCulloch. The fifth man is out again, the fly keeper. McCulloch receives that from Yates. Now she'll receive it from Flannery. Yates again. McCulloch. Long ball. Flannery gets to it.
AJ, drop. Nikki, press.
Ball went straight off her boot and into now the hands of Gemma Skinner, who goes long. Glanfield is there, does well to reset with Yates breathing down her neck. Now here you go, Cumbre still moving the ball well. Master Antonio got that touch, and she'll get a shot. Saved by Pickering. McCulloch, Yates, gets that through. Now they got a chance. Got a chance for Cumbre on the shot. Master Antonio, she'll shoot on the left. And in came Yates, and that ball could have gone anywhere. But it will end up going into a corner now for Cumbre. Corner. Glanfield, saved by Pickering. And that was a bit of an awkward one to save, but she did well.
AJ.
Here's McCulloch. Yates. Hughes. Back to Yates. Chance. Flannery, and that'll go out.
In the whole game, now you've got to do some work. Jess, stay high.
Skinner now in goals. Long ball.
Right. Turn 3v2.
Doesn't get through. Here's a chance, and big play there by Glanfield. Had to find a way to get something on that. In fact, it was Harrell. But otherwise, they were out there. Inter. Harrell. Denona. Back to Harrell. McCulloch gets a deflection in there. Yates. Is it too much on it? No, it's brilliant. Finding McCulloch. Keeps it in. And in fact, it didn't stay in. But great work there by Inter. They are really asking the question of Cumbre. Long ball. Tries to find Denona, but it does, Master Antonio, but it does not stay in.
Yes, go higher. Go up into the corner. Nikki, get out this side. Kaylee, go middle.
Yates. McCulloch. Hughes. Chance for Yates. Deflection. That'll be kept in by Flannery, was it? Looks like it was just out.
Lily, press.
Now Cumbre take possession.
Go.
Long down the line, and it will now be an interball.
You also, Nikki, I know she should have left it, but can you give her a better pass?
Hughes, McCulloch, Yates, Pickering. Can't get it through, but it'll be a corner. And not happy there with Cumbre with the referee, and it looks like looking for his yellow card. Took a while to find it, but a yellow is given. Let's see, frustration zone. I believe Mastrantonio, the recipient of the yellow, might not be 100%. I believe it is. After the corner was given rather than a goal throw.
AJ, to that near post.
Shot, almost in. Almost found the back of the net, almost found the boot of Hughes at the back post. And wow, what a chance gone begging.
Well done, Lily.
Here's a long ball. Yates there, does well. They survived that attack anyway, but not quite yet. Still a chance for Cumbre. Chance. And that probably would have been taken care of by the keeper, but Hughes did well still to clear it. Harrell. In fact, it's Denona, and that's way high. Now McCulloch. And the clock is still ticking. They need a goal. Still a lot of time to go. In futsal, Hughes will let that go, you'd think. She does, she leaves it to McCulloch. Hughes can't keep it in. And it's now Cumbre ball. Harrell gets it through. Lost by Glanfield. Yates, chance. Skinner there. She'll give it to Mastrantonio. Mastrantonio all the way to that far flank, finds Glanfield. Does brilliantly, beats Yates. Will she get a shot off? She tried to get it to Harrell, can't get it there. Mastrantonio now. She give it off to Denona. Hughes does well, controls it brilliantly. She'll get it back from McCulloch. Now Yates, long ball, it's a good one, but not controlled by McCulloch.
Lily, step in front. Jess, go with her.
Now to be brought in from the sideline by Anna Denona. Denona, Hughes, almost loses her footing. Yates, McCulloch, might have lost it, but in comes Yates. Denona wins it, but can't keep it in.
Nikki, come this way.
McCulloch brings it in. 3.5 minutes remaining. McCulloch receives it back. She'll give it to Flannery. Flannery through. Back heel by Harrell. Turned over. Goal! And it's tied. Flannery with her second goal in the space of a few minutes.
Not yet, like now.
And Inter Perth have equalised here, overcoming a 4-2 lead. They're right back in this game. And this is season on the line type stuff. If they can find 3 points here into Perth, they'll get their season right back on track. Will they continue with the fifth man? You wouldn't think so, but they've been playing very well with it.
Press.
And no real chances have presented for Cumbre. Skinner has to go long, turns it over though. Now a chance on the counter. Flannery tried to get it through a Rudd, but out of her reach. And this has been a great fight shown by Inter coming up against second place Cumbre. Here's Glanfield. Harrell, block made. Hughes goes down, foul called on Mastrantonio.
AJ, go!
Hughes receives it from McCulloch. Hughes, Pickering the keeper. Shot saved by Skinner on the follow-up now. and cleared.
AJ, leave the ball.
What a play. Pickering almost had the chance to win it. Playing fly keeper for Inter. What a game this is. It's had its ups and its downs. It's had a bit of everything this game. And it's now probably fairly 4-4. And it's given both teams a chance in about 2.5 minutes of play to try and take the win. Here is Flannery. We'll have to give it off to Rudd. Rudd back to McCulloch. McCulloch can't get it through. Dangerously turns it over. Glanfield might have finished it. No, it's wide. And that's the risk. With scores level, playing this fifth man, it almost paid off for Pickering on one end and then it almost cost them on the other. But neither found the back of the net. There's now 2.5 minutes remaining and Inter have all the momentum. Long ball, tight contest, Glanfield wins it, but it will be an Inter ball.
AJ, go!
Pickering takes off. Now the danger is there for both teams. With the flykeeper in play, here's McCulloch. Off to Hughes. Hughes receives back, Hughes! And just high. Pickering has to get back. Skinner, 2 minutes to go. Here is Harrell. Gives it off Clemenson, no one there. And Pickering receives now, and Pickering will take off again. She's done a lot of running, Pickering, in the last 7 or 8 minutes of play. Here's Hughes. Off to McCulloch. Now Rudd. McCulloch.
AJ in!
Hughes. Flannery. Back to Hughes, gets a shot off, and in comes Glanfield clearing.
AJ, as this ball's moving, you have to move.
And now a sideline ball. Hughes with a shot. Does it get through? Dangerously, almost bounces in. Chance, no goal, no keeper and goals. Glanfield, wide. 95 seconds remaining. 4-4 is the score, and it is anyone's game. It is anyone's game. McCulloch can't get it through there to Flannery. It'll be a Cumbre ball. Mastrantonio, can they find a way, Cumbre? They had the lead for most of this second half. They just need to find one goal through here to win the game, and they might find an opportunity with the fifth man playing. And this might be the chance. Will Pickering take off out of goals? McCulloch, Hughes, takes her time, goes back to McCulloch, now to Rudd. Tries to squeeze it through, no one there. And who's that last off? It is off Skinner, no. Last touch will be off Flannery. And Skinner will take from goals with just over a minute remaining. And that's caught the net. And it'll present an opportunity for a fifth man play for Inter. Substitution made, Rudd off. And on comes Lily Yates. They've also got a strong lineup on at the moment, do Cumbre. So you'd think they'd be able to find a way to get a good defensive structure in play. Here's Hughes. Tries to get it through. Almost turned it over. Now a chance. Wide open Hughes, but loses control of it. No keeper in goals. This could be it. Harrell, Glanfield, they won't get a shot off. McCulloch got back anyway. And Clemenson just goes long. And frustration at the moment for Cumbre, having blown a 2-goal lead. As I said, it is not over yet. Still 50 seconds to go. Nicola Hughes. Kayla Hughes. Gives it off to McCulloch. Nicola Hughes now. Back to McCulloch. Mastrantonio. Now a chance. 33 seconds to go. Chance. Still for Cumbre. They're onto it. Keeper gets back. Here it is. Glanfield, 23 seconds to go. Harrell won't get it. It's now a chance on the counter. Hughes still on it. 3-on-1 and wasted. Massive chance goes begging. They had the back post McCulloch. Flannery couldn't get to it. Now on the counter. 3-on-2. 9 seconds to go and they'll lose it. A few chances go begging. Master Antonio to win the game. Glanfield. Big block there by McCulloch. Just under 3 seconds remaining. And the final chance of the game. It's pretty much, you'd think now, either a Cumbre win or a draw. It'll be taken by Glanfield. It'll be a corner, so they'll all get in there and anything can happen. What will they draw up? Glanfield to take the corner. Gives it off. Master Antonio! Wide left, not far off. And that will do us. The ball won't be able to get there in time, and it is going to be a 4-all tie. And what a game we've seen. You wouldn't think it's going to get there. 4 for the tie. Great game of futsal. Inter led for most of the first half. Cumbre led for most of the second half. But it's going to result in a 4-all tied game between two teams that were going so hard at it, and it was a great game of futsal to watch. Thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. We've got a huge game to come between the Arqam Eagles and the Coburn Wolves. Good evening and welcome back everyone to Perth Mod Subiaco for a big game here between the Arqam Eagles and the Coburn Wolves. Both of these teams are coming into this game around the middle of the table and looking to make a push to hopefully for each team move up the ladder going into the second half of the season. Coming into this game, both teams have struggled for form at times throughout the season, but they've also had periods where they have been quite strong, and that's led to that middle of the table position. Right now, it is the Coburn Wolves who are sitting in 7th place on the ladder, and the Arqam Eagles sitting in 10th, but it is a very tight ladder. The Arqam Eagles, even though they're 10th, they are only 2 points off of 5th, so they are right in the mix if they can find a win here tonight. As we get underway here, we'll go through the team lineups for the evening as that ball moves around the middle. And there's wearing the captain armband for the Arqam Eagles here tonight is Berat Jar. Chance off the post and cleared by Silas. We'll go through the lineups in a minute, but just a bit of chaos going on. Jar. And that goes into touch. The lineups for tonight, the Arqam Eagles, Amro Atta number 33, Tarek Atta 10, Miguel Oliveira number 11, Orlando Pavlovich 99, Ethan Hardy 25, Faniel DeWitt number 14, Hassan Asadi 5, Daniel Scambiluri 23, Berat Jar number 8, Omid Estragian number 4, and Ali Milhelm 10 returning to the Supa-Liga. I believe I haven't seen Ali Milhelm playing in the Supa-Liga for quite some time. Might have been South Perth that he played with most recently. Might not be 100% on that, but good to see him back. And Eddie Garrido as well, number 2, rounding out the lineups for the lineup for the Arqam Eagles. Coburn Wolves lining up tonight: Michael Dudek, number 28, Canel Matthias, number 27, Christian Silas, 20, Michael Vlasic, 14, Lucas Schutz, number 4, Milos Golub, 22, save there made by Hardy. Patrick Torres, number 35, and Angel Andres Rivera, number 19. And that will round up both lineups for the evening. And we'll start to get into the action now as Matthias off to Vlasic. Vlasic now, Silas tries to take it down the line, can't. And it will now be won by the Eagles, and it'll be taken by Amro Atta. Amro Atta brings it in, gives it to Jar. Oliveira, nice few moves, but shoots up to the task. Ethan Hardy, he'll give it off to Jar. Jar, long ball, high, over everyone. And it'll be taken now in goals by Dudek. Off to Vlasic. Vlasic gives it to Matthias. Will he go down the line? No, he'll reset, he'll go to Silas. Vlasic. Nice few moves there by Schutz. Silas. Long ball, and that goes out into touch. In fact, it will be a goal throw for Ethan Hardy. Hardy to Jar. Off to Amro Atta. Tries to take Matthias down the line, but Matthias strong. Jar. Oliveira. Gives it off. Amro Atta. Inside to Oliveira. Vlasic there. Now Matthias tries to find Schutz. Can't get there. Now a chance. Amro Atta might get it back here, combining with DeWitt. DeWitt! Massive save by Michael Dudek. And DeWitt came on and almost scored immediately. A few step overs by Schutz, who's been a prominent goal scorer in the Supa-Liga this season. Amro Atta now on the counter. Down goes Schutz. And that'll be a Wolves ball. Here's Schutz. Gives it to Vlasic. Now Vlasic is always so strong in that defensive role. Silas, Schutz, takes off. Matthias tried to go back to Schutz, loses it. Now Jar on the counter. Tight contest there. No fouls called. Did seem to be both players tussling. Probably the right decision, and Matthias gets ahead. but that's wide. Long throw by Ethan Hardy. Amrata keeps it in. Shoots, gets there. Shoots off to Matthias. Shoots. Silas. First touch. In comes Miguel Oliveira with a great sliding tackle in defence. That'll be brought in by Silas now. Chance for Vlasic, and it's a goal! And the Wolves get to the flying start. Found the bottom left corner, Michael Vlasic with the finish. And what a finish it was. And this has been a very physical start to the game, and the Wolves get the start they were after. And now DeWitt. Oliveira. Oliveira off to DeWitt. And then move the ball around here nicely in defence. On comes Torres. Vlasic. Big shot. Jaja gets the block in. And Rivera also on now for the Coburn Wolves. Long ball by Dudek, a good one. Ends up finding Rivera. Can he finish? He can't. Shoots. Nice couple touches. Now loses it. Pouncing on it with his Amrata, and Shoots comes in with the tackle. Shoots there, fighting with it with Amrata. Atta does well, but Shoots gets that last touch in. Can that one get through? No, Torres. And it might not stay in for him, and it doesn't. Here is DeWitt. Can't get it through. Now a chance for DeWitt. Big block there by Torres. Forcing it out into touch. Chance, and the block there by Vlasic. And that will be now a side ball, in fact, a corner for Amro Atta and the Arqam Eagles. And that was a massive opening goal. And there is a block, the Orlando Pavlovic shot blocked by Shoots. Pavlovic off to Jar Jar. Chance for Pavlovic, what a ball! Orlando Pavlovic almost beat Dudek but couldn't. But what an opening goal that was for Vlasic. Vlasic so strong normally defensively, and this time finding the back of the net himself. And the Wolves have drawn first blood here at Subiaco, and they'll look now to build and potentially go up by 2 if they can, but it won't be on this occasion. Ethan Hardy, Amro Atta might lose it. He does. Shoots. Chance. Rivera. Can he get a shot off on his left? He does, and it's wide. It's not the start the Eagles were after, and they're really under the pump. And there's a lot of energy in this game from both teams. 5 minutes into it. Here's a long ball, and that'll end up with Ethan Hardy. Pavlovic tries to take it down the line, and in the end, well done defensively by Torres. Amro Atta. Here is Jar Jar. Can he get it through to Atta? He does. Now they've got some space. Shoots defending. Atta goes down the line, ends up with DeWitt. Pavlovic takes on Torres to his outside. In comes Rivera. He'll go down, and no foul called. And it'll end up with Hardy. He was out if he could have kept his feet or if a foul was called. Pavlovic, DeWitt. Doesn't go through. Now comes Shoots. He's got Torres if he can get it to him. He can't, but he'll pounce on it. Torres still, and that will go out now, and it will be a Wolves. No, it'll be an Arqam Eagles ball. Here is Amro Atta. With 14 minutes left in the first half. It is still the early stages of this game, and right now you'd say that the Coburn Wolves have the momentum. The Arqam Eagles came out with a lot of energy, came out very hard, but that goal by Vlasic has really shifted the momentum of this game. Here is Vlasic. He'll give it off. Here's Golub. Vlasic. Torres loses it. Now a chance for the Eagles. Amro Atta gets a shot off. Block made. Now Vlasic. He might have lost it. Atta, he can't control. Golub. Vlasic. Torres. Long ball by Torres. Golub there. Keeps it in. Tries to square it. Atta cleared by Hardy. And now they'll take off for the Arqam Eagles. And that ball just goes wide. But a great start to this game. And that ball goes out, and it'll be brought back into play now by the Arqam Eagles through Estragian. Estragian received from Pavlovic. He'll get a shot off, and I don't know if it was a shot or trying to find a target, but it was kind of in the middle of nowhere and didn't find anyone in the end. Hassan Asadi now on for the Arqam Eagles. Torres, Vlasic, Golub. Can't get it through, striking it as well. Pavlovic, and now go the Arqam Eagles. They'll take off. Torres getting there, strong in defence. They'll have to reset. Can Hardy keep it in? He can't. And that is a corner for the Eagles, for the Wolves. And they're under the pump now, the Arqam Eagles. Torres, back to Golub. Can't get it through, strong there by Asadi. We always say that 5 fouls is the magic number to watch, and currently has been very little fouls in the game. I think, well, currently it shows no fouls. So with a physical game like this, probably good on the refs for not calling too many fouls. It's always good sometimes when they just do let them play. And that will go out, and it will be taken by Michael Dudek. In goals, always so solid as a goalkeeper, Michael Dudek. He'll give it off now to Vlasic. Golub. Long ball, Rivera. Has Torres waiting. And it might end up with him, will it? No, Asadi. And now go the Eagles. They'll lose it on the counter. Rivera. Resets, in comes Estragi and gets a boot to it, does well. Pavlovic now. And the Eagles have a chance. No, reset. Asadi. Asadi. Still on it. Loses it. Now Torres. Bit of holding going on. No fouls caught either way. Chance. Asadi. Still going. Can't finish it. And cleared by Golub. And that is now into touch. And another chance for the Arqam Eagles. Ethan Hardy with a shot. Now Torres catches Hardy out of goals, and a massive mistake. And it's gone straight through his feet. And remarkably, it is now 2-0. And you see on the replay that he came out of goals, and he don't really know what happened there. Just a bit of a lapse in concentration for a moment. And a goal, I believe that was by Torres. So that is now a 2-goal lead for the Coburn Wolves. as that ball goes out and into touch. Here is Silas off to Vlasic. There's a big turnover in a dangerous spot. Pavlovic, shot, blocked, and ends up with Dudek. And a double disaster for the Eagles to start this game. That first goal was a great finish, but that goal there, a crucial error. And with the Wolves striking again, Coburn are looking strong, and the Arqam Eagles need to bounce back. The last time the Wolves did play, it was in 2025. It was an 8-all tie against, as this is a chance, and the Arqam Eagles respond 2-1. And we're almost at the midway point of this first half. And just as I said, they needed to respond immediately. They get the goal that they so desperately needed. I was just about to say that their last game that the Wolves played, it was an 8-all tie against Phoenix Futsal. I'm saying that their defence tonight has been a lot stronger than that game, but obviously then they've just conceded here. But they still do have that lead. And you'd think Ethan Hardy would be breathing a sigh of relief with that goal, almost kind of erased that mistake from a few moments ago. And this is a tight affair here at Subiaco. The Eagles look to build again. Pavlovic. Here's a chance. They'll move it back though. Nicely done there by Asadi. Pavlovic involved again. Silas overcommits, but Matthias does brilliantly. 2-on-1. Silas, big save this time by Hardy. Did well. And that chance, I think that'll be called back. And Arqam Eagles striking back, refusing to let that lead extend. And after those first two goals were conceded, clawing one back is crucial. And they managed to do it. 2-1 now, and a game is on our hands. Here is Astragian, long ball, finding Asadi, but loses it, and it'll end up with Matthias. Vlasic, Golub retreats to Vlasic again. Now Golub, now pressure, Silas. Astragian does well. And the call is going to be an Arqam Eagles ball. And they've got a chance. Matthias comes in though. Can Matthias get onto it? Makes a bit of contact there with Amre Atta. Nothing wrong with that. Here's a chance now for the Eagles to equalise. Still going. Vlasic did just enough to force that out. And it'll be taken in goals by Dudek. Here's Silas. Vlasic, Matthias, Silas. Golub now. Tries to go long, can't get it to Matthias. Now a chance for Amarata. He'll take off, almost loses it, manages to keep possession. With Silas defending. Here's Astragian. Asadi back to Astragian, now back to Asadi. And they're building it nicely through defence. This is a nice play. That's a good ball to the target, and Amarata on this occasion does well to control. Nice spin. Astragian. Can this get through? No. Silas. Now a 2-on-2. He'll take off. He'll get a shot off. And a big save there by Hardy. And that will be a corner. Here's Silas, shot blocked. Now a chance, Dudek somewhat off his line. Can they finish this? The Eagles. Chance. Saved by Dudek. Matthias now onto it. Back to Silas. And now out. Amar Arts' possession. Gives it off. Now they lose it. Now Vlasic. Estragian. All the way back. In fact, it was Asadi Estragian. And now on comes Ali Milhelm. And he gives away an immediate foul. And the timeout called by the Coburn Wolves. And that will do us for the moment. There are 8 minutes to go in this first half. And we'll be back with you very shortly with a 2-1 lead to the Coburn Wolves. And we are back underway. Here is Shoots. 8 minutes to go in the first half. And they have a 2-1 lead, the Coburn Wolves. Here is Torres. Torres through the middle. Now back to Matthias. He will now find Shoots. Vlasic. Shoots. Matthias to Vlasic. And now Lucas Shoots. Matthias again. Vlasic with a shot. And a bit of an awkward one there, but Hardy did well enough. He'll give it to Jar Jar. Barat Jar Jar. Off to Ali Milhelm. Can't get that through. Down goes Oliveira. And that's a Wolves possession. Torres. Vlasic shoots. Vlasic. Now Matthias. Back to Vlasic. Shoots. Controls it well. Torres turns his defender, but in comes Hardy with a nice little dummy, letting that roll out into a goal throw. Hardy, long ball, contest here. In comes Ali Milhelm. Ends up with Matthias. Vlasic. Shoots, is able to keep it in. Matthias gets it through, does he? No. Almost found Torres. Oliveira now on the counter. Still going, Oliveira. Still going. And the foul will be called on Matthias. And very interesting, sorry, I was just listening to some discussion there. The Arqam Eagles calling for a card, saying he was past all the defence, and the Wolves were saying he didn't make. He was just running his line, and no foul should have been called at all. But the foul has been called, and no card has been given, and a free kick will be taken by the Arqam Eagles. And this will be taken here as a chance for Jar Jar. Gives it off. Oliveira, chance high. And it'll be now in goals for Dudek, who gives it off to Vlasic. Vlasic almost turns it over, but nice defence, but too heavy on the touch there from Oliveira. Here's Torres, Vlasic, shoots, down the line, off to Matthias. Good nice ball cutting across there to Torres. And we'll go back to Matthias, will he? Yes. Now he will go through, Vlasic gets it, goes down, and a foul is called on Jar Jar. Can they put a third goal here past Ethan Hardy? They were quite fortunate to get that second goal with just sliding under his boot. But it also was a good heads-up play, taking the shot in the first place, knowing he was off his line. Here's Rivera, shot, deflection, could have almost gone anywhere. That by Torres. Now Milhelm loses his footing, chance, and Torres shot wide. And now an Eagles ball. Jar Jar, Milhelm does well, brilliant skill beating, shoots. Now he goes down, but Rivera wins it. Rivera taking off now, keeping it down the line. Oliveira wins it back, and now back to Hardy. And down is Ali Milhelm. And hopefully all is okay with Ali Milhelm being down. Obviously no foul in the tackle, and no one was really asking for it. He did get the ball, but I think he could have potentially landed hard. He seemed to be grabbing his face. I don't know if that was what's happened to him. And it looks like ice might be coming out, if I'm correct. But yeah, hopefully it's all okay. Hopefully all is okay with Ali Milhelm. And we'll be getting underway shortly with 5.5 minutes remaining in this first half of futsal here in this match. And both of these teams haven't played since the new year. So it is always exciting to see what a team has worked on over the Christmas break. And so far, it's been promising from both clubs. Both have come out hard, and we're involved in a tight tussle here at Perth Mod, so far anyway. The last time that these two teams did come head to head was in round 1 of the season, so all the way back. And I believe it was the Coburn Wolves in that one who managed to get the win. In what was a pretty good game of futsal. And it does appear that that was the case. It was all the way back in October at Subiaco. It was a 2-1 victory to the Coburn Wolves in a tight match. As you see, Ali Milhelm is all smiles on the bench. He looks okay. And we're getting underway now. So it might just be a cut to the nose from what I'm hearing, as we're now getting going again. As we are approaching the final whistle of a pretty intense first half. There's still 5.5 minutes to go. Both teams will still be looking to try and find another goal before the end of the half. The Wolves are desperate for a bounce back goal after conceding, and obviously the Arqam Eagles looking to equalise. Here is Torres. Torres, can he get that through? No. DeWitt. And in came Vlasic there, did well enough. Here's a long ball. DeWitt came flying in, as did Velasic. Here's Rivera. It's going to end up with DeWitt. But Velasic does well, getting that sliding tackle there on really the last line of defence. Here is Amro Atta. Here the Wolves crowd getting up and about for their club, trying to lift them. Here's Atta, off to Jar Jar. Back to Atta. DeWitt. Oliveira, and no one there to receive. I think obviously Amro Atta was the intended target, but he hadn't made the move that Oliveira had expected. Torres gets it through to Rivera, back to Torres, and big save there by Hardy. Torres still, Hardy coming out of goals, and that is going to be an Arqam Eagles ball. Long ball by Jar Jar, DeWitt there, controls it unbelievably really. Wasn't an easy one. Oliveira, a number of step overs, now he goes down, and nothing will be called. And there's another player down, so hopefully, as earlier, hopefully all is okay with Miguel Oliveira. It's been such a physical game so far tonight. And we are getting back underway. 4 minutes and just over remaining. Lucas shoots to take. Shoots to bring it in from the sideline. He's just wiping up a bit of sweat off the court. Here's Shoots. And you'd think both teams would be fairly satisfied with this opening half so far. The Arqam Eagles, whilst they did concede 2 goals early, they have played good futsal and they're right in this contest. Whilst the Coburn Wolves obviously currently having that 2-1 lead and had that such a strong start, getting 2 early goals, they would also be quite pleased with how they've started off 2026. But there's a long way to go in this game for both clubs. Here is Vlasic. He will give it off to Lucas Shoots. Vlasic. Chance almost got back through to Vlasic from Rivera. And now here comes Asadi, keeping it a long time, ends up losing it. One by Jar Jar. Asadi's got a bit of space now, but that closes pretty quickly. DeWitt. Asadi. DeWitt. Chance. Jar Jar gets it to finish. Finds the back of the net, and what a first half this has been. 2-2 is the score with 3.5 minutes remaining. And you'll see on that replay, absolutely hammered into the back of the net. And there it was, finished at that back post, and 2-2 is the score. Chance to shoot, can that finish? No, almost dropped in. Not a bad little chip effort there, but not quite able to finish it off. But this has been an awesome game to watch. We are back on level terms here at Subiaco as Torres moves it through the middle, gives it off, chance for shoots. This should be finished, it isn't! Is it a penalty called? No, there was no keeper there. And it is not called. There was no keeper on the goal line at all. Shoots almost seemed to be thrown to the ground, and it's a goal! And the Arqam Eagles have taken the lead in controversial fashion. And absolutely crazy 30 seconds. And there's the finish by DeWitt. And remarkably, I think it was Shoots went to ground, no foul or what would have been a penalty called, and the Arqam Eagles have got the lead. And you can watch the replay and be the judge of it yourselves. Here is Torres. He gives it off to Shoots. Shoots to Rivera. Vlasic, Rivera. Shot! Big save by Hardy. And now Amro Atta. Back to Jaja. What a first half this has been. It's been entertaining futsal at its best. Asadi cuts it through the middle. Now goes back to Jaja. DeWitt. And no one on the receiving end of that pass. Now Torres. In fact, it is Rivera through to Vlasic. Tried to find Rivera. What a turn of events this has been in this last few minutes. Dudek. Vlasic. Through to Shoots. Taking on down the line. Can it go through? It does! No, it hasn't gone in. Almost finishing. Beat Amro Atta. The class there shown by Lucas Shoots, but so close to finishing, but couldn't quite get it done. Now Amro Atta shoots, forces the turnover. Just as I said that he might have finished it, no. Hardy gets enough on it and cleared there by DeWitt. There's a chance by Vlasic, caught catching the post. Asadi now, DeWitt finds his man, Jaja, and missed it at the back post. Almost a wide open tap in there for DeWitt, and couldn't quite get anything on it. Now Matthias, now he can take off, he's got speed. Good use of the body there by Amro Atta, ends up with Torres. Torres on the left, and that's wide. Long ball here by Hardy. Ends up with Shoots on the counter, and he can do anything Lucas Shoots. Matthias tries to get it through the middle, can't get it. Jaja finds Asadi. Asadi, and that'll be last touch off of Torres. That will now be brought in from the sideline by Asadi. Here is Jaja. Gives it to Ethan Hardy. Estragian. Long ball. Dangerous though, because it's turned over in the middle. Chance for Shoots. Still going, Lucas Shoots, and can't finish it. Nice idea though, but Matthias' ball into the middle. Didn't find anyone. Torres. Chance. Vlasic shot blocked. Here's Asadi. Cutting it through the middle. Gives it off to Estragian. DeWitt. Does well to control it. Still going DeWitt. Managed to put it through the middle. Ends up with DeWitt again. Now a chance. Jaja finishes. No. Catches the post. Very similar to that Lucas Shoots attempt not too long ago. Now Vlasic. Shoots, 18 seconds to go, still going, cuts it through 3 players, Lucas Shoots, and can't finish. What a play that was. Down goes Hardy, and he's touched it outside of the goals, is what the call is from the Wolves. And now with 9 seconds to go, mass confusion, and Hardy and Matthias going at it in that far flank. And all sorts of drama here at Subiaco. Unbelievable last 5 minutes to close out this first half. It's Vlasic. Vlasic, and that's high. .6 seconds to go. Long ball by Hardy. Vlasic gets a boot on it. Matthias, can he keep it in? He can. Still a Wolves ball. Turnover. 1 second to go. DeWitt's going to shoot. He does, and it's wide. And 3-2 the lead. Absolute chaos to finish the first half. Do not leave your seats. We've got a big second half to come, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Game, but the Eagles have definitely not been out of this game. They're right in it. That is brilliant by Julian Millimarchi beating Joel Toro, and now the finish. Is it in from Flynn Nolan? It looks like it is. It's finished. What a strike by Flynn Nolan. Found the right corner, and it's called a goal. We are back underway here at Perth Mod Subiaco for the second half of futsal. 3-2 the lead currently for the Arqam Eagles after a late 2 goals that turned a 1-2 deficit into a 3-2 lead. And now here is Astragian, takes it off, 3-on-1. He'll go out wide, Pavlovic wide. And a yellow given to the coach of the Coburn Wolves, as well as to Rivera. And this has been brewing, especially given that there was a pretty controversial decision towards the end of that first half, which resulted in a 2-goal turnaround. So 2 yellows are given. And it'll be brought in now by Dudek as we are back underway. It's been a pretty frantic end to the second half and start to the first half and start to the second half. Now Oliveira, 2-on-2. He uses Astragian on the right, saved by Dudek. That was on target. It's still a 1-goal lead for the for the Arqam Eagles, as they look to extend that lead to 2 while the Wolves look to equalise. That's unable to be controlled by Oliveira. Probably a bit too much on it there from Astragian. Oliveira almost wins it back, ends up with Dudek. Long ball, turns it over though in the middle. Now the Eagles try and break through on the counter-attack. Astragian. Oliveira involved. The Eagles building. Pavlovic. Can't get it through Silas. Silas now takes off. Silas goes down. Foul called on Pavlovic. And a chance for the Wolves to equalise. And it'll be Michael Vlasic, as he so often does, to take the set piece. He's got Rivera, he's got Silas and Milos Golub to pick from. He'll just take a shot himself, almost deflects into the net, but ends up in the hands of Hardy. Now Oliveira. The switch is made, and the Eagles look to set up now. Sorry, the Wolves are trying to set up, and the Eagles trying to find a way through that setup. Astragian. Shot blocked by Golub, and he's come up a bit worse for wear, but now he looks okay. Looks pretty good considering. And he'll be brought in from the sideline now, and it'll be reset. So 3-2 still the lead. And if this result did hold for the Arqam Eagles, we'll see something similar to what we saw last week with a victory, sending a team about, I think it was South Perth, sending a team about 6 spots up the ladder. 5 or 6 spots. And that is correct. If the Arqam Eagles win here tonight, they will move from 10th on the ladder, and they will jump all the way until 5th, which is a huge jump if they can hold on. Shot by Pavlovic and blocked by Vlasic. Astragian brings it in. Pavlovic shot saved by Dudek. It was the Wolves getting the chocolates the last time these 2 teams played. Right now the Eagles are out for revenge, and they have a 1-goal lead. Ethan Hardy. The Eagles moving it. So go back to Astragian. If he can keep it in, he can. He'll go long, but straight between Oliveira and Pavlovic. Long ball by Dudek. Turned over, ends up back with Vlasic though, who does well against 2, but now loses out to Pavlovic. Vlasic might have got a boot in there, but it ends up with Oliveira anyway. He'll give it off, but turns it over. Rivera Rivera down. Estragian on the counter. Takes off 3 to beat. Vlasic gets a boot in, forcing it into touch. Now Oliveira. DeWitt comes on for the Arqam Eagles. Oliveira. Gives it off. Finds Pavlovic. In fact, he couldn't keep it in. But not a bad idea to try and chip that down the line. Vlasic. Golub. Thought about what to do too many seconds and ended up losing out, but they've still got a chance here. Do the Arqam Eagles, do the Coburn Wolves, and the Arqam Eagles need to set up defensively. Here is Shoots. Shoots to Silas. Blocked by Estragian. Estragian finds DeWitt. In comes Silas, though, does very well. Still going Silas, using his body. Will they reset? He will. All the way back to Shoots. Now Golub. Golub down the line. Rivera down the line. Beats Pavlovic. Rivera with a shot. No foul called. Now it is. And the foul is called against the Arqam Eagles. Against Orlando Pavlovic. And with 3 minutes into this second half, and already a lot of action going on, I don't believe it'll be a penalty. It will be a free kick. It'll be taken by Rivera. Here is Rivera. Estragian and Pavlovic on the wall. DeWitt and Oliveira set up as well. They've got a lot of space though, do Lucas Shoots and Silas. They've got a heap of space. You'd think they'll try and use it. I can see this going to Shoots. Rivera, he has a shot himself and he finishes it. No, I was wrong. I thought he was going to give it to Shoots, but Rivera said, I'm going to do it myself, and finds the bottom right. And the game is all tied up. Here is DeWitt. Pavlovic, 1-on-1 with Shoots, ends up going out, and it'll be Pavlovic's ball. Estragian. Pavlovic, straight to Dudek. Long ball, and that'll go straight out, and it'll be Ethan Hardy to take. Long ball by Estragian and cleared by Silas. So straight back to the Arqam Eagles now in defence. Jar Jar. Oliveira, Jar Jar, Oliveira. Back to Jar Jar. Now DeWitt. Gets it through. Finds Oliveira. That's dangerous. Ends up though with Pavlovic. Turns it over. Now Golub shoots. Brilliant bit of footwork. Wide open is Silas. He can have a shot. 1-on-1 with the keeper. And that's wide. And now Jar Jar will bring it out of defence. Good long ball, finding Oliveira. He has Pavlovic. Tries to find him. Almost lost DeWitt. And dangerous positioning there by Dudek. Thought for a moment it might get through his legs, but did well in the end. Shoots. Rivera. Shoots. Chance for Lucas Shoots. Blocked by DeWitt. That's dangerous. Golub was putting pressure on. Oh, now Oliveira. Oliveira down. Pavlovic. Pavlovic can give them the lead. And wow, and DeWitt so close, but managed to get the wide open shot, but he just put it over the crossbar. And now Torres. Off to Silas, long ball, a great ball. Finds Torres, chance, this should be finished, and it will be finished. Unbelievable ball, and just managed to beat the defence, and Matthias with the back post finish. And the Coburn Wolves have turned around a 3-2 deficit into a 4-3 lead in the space of a couple minutes. And you see just the overcommitting there on the defence. The tackle missed, and it was punished. Here's a chance. Gets it through, does he, Amarata? No. Ball must have just been out. It'll be a Wolves ball taken by Lucas Schutz. Here is Silas. Torres. Moves the ball forward, now through the middle, Matthias. And he probably could have kept the touch there and seen what he could have done with himself, but tried to find Schutz on that first touch. Couldn't find him. Now Jaja, off to Oliveira. Oliveira loses it, finds a way to keep it though. Ball stays in, and I did think that ball stayed in, but it's been called out. And it'll be in Coburn Wolves possession. And it'll be taken by Torres. Now Silas, long ball. Matthias with pace gets onto it. Jaja does well though, but that'll be a Wolves ball. And they get back defensively though, the Arqam Eagles. Matthias to bring it in from touch. Off to Schutz. Shoots a couple step overs. Torres might reset. Chance for Silas. Shot blocked. Nice bit of footwork again by Schutz, and Ethan Hardy just swats it away, and that'll be maybe a corner for the Wolves. Here's Silas. Matthias thought about shooting. Decides to go all the way back now, and it'll end up with Dudek. And Silas now to rebuild again. He'll go to Torres. Torres to Schutz. Schutz. Too much on that little flick and couldn't keep it in. Chance. Amro Atta keeps it in. Torres on the counter now. Matthias. Now there's numbers everywhere for the Wolves. Torres. They'll lose it. 2-on-1. Oliveira. DeWitt. Ball was just behind him. If that ball was in front of him, they were out. Amro Atta. Now reset. DeWitt has Oliveira there and almost found him. And it'll be a goal throw, but that ball just needed to hit him in stride, and it could have been a back post finish. There's now the Wolves set up again to try and move it forward and through the defence. Long ball, Silas can't get there. Nice little dummy there by Jaja, ending up with Hardy. Oliveira under pressure by Schutz. Schutz wins it. Now it's a 2-on-1. Lucas Schutz, he should finish this. Tries to get it around Hardy. Still going. Lucas Schutz, that is so classy. And there's the finish by Silas. And Schutz just knew what he was doing from the moment that he got that ball. And he was just never going to lose it. And he decided not to shoot, and he gave it off to Silas. And that is now 2 really clinical goals by the Coburn Wolves to give themselves a 5-3 lead. As the timeout is called, and the Eagles have got a lot to discuss to work themselves back into this game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you very shortly. Here is Jar Jar as we're back underway. Asadi gives it off to DeWitt. Back to Asadi. And that will go out, not troubling anyone, and still will be an Eagles ball though. So still the opportunity is there. Chance, that goes through, but straight into Lucas Shoots.
Amr, your support, you're at the back.
Here's DeWitt. Chance for Jar Jar, deflection off Matthias, going out and to the right of the goalpost. So still a corner, and the chance is still there for the Eagles. Jar Jar, and kind of didn't really have anyone in the vicinity of that ball. So it will be a goal ball. In fact, it went out, so into touch, and it'll be Michael Vlasic to take for the Wolves. Long ball, Matthias is there, controls it well. Tries to squeeze it through, can't. Jar Jar just out of the reach there of Asadi. And the Wolves' defence have been extremely strong in the second half so far. They've got another 12.5 minutes to continue if they want to come out of it on top. Shoots, nice little no-look, finding Matthias, who tried to find Shoots again but couldn't. Chance for DeWitt, can he get one back? Saved by Dudek. Now Amro Atta back post and out of the reach of Jar Jar. But a nice bit of play there from the Eagles. Here's Vlasic. Can he get that through? Brilliant by Matthias getting onto that ball. Now Torres, shot, and Jar Jar with the block. Wearing the captain's armband for today. It's quite often it'll be a Sami Atta as the captain, but not here tonight. So Jar Jar has taken on that responsibility as Asadi cuts in there and couldn't keep possession, but managed to stop that attack. Chance for Vlasic, saved by Hardy. And in comes Matthias again, but now a chance on the counter. Asadi has Amr Atta, loses it. Amr Atta can't get up. Asadi, Torres there. And bounces straight now into the hands of Dudek. Vlasic shoots. Cuts it through the middle. He's so quick and so good with the ball. Now we lose it. Amr Atta, 3-on-1, 2-on-1. Asadi loses his footing. Chance for Amr Atta, it's gone in! And there might have been a deflection, but it's gone in the bottom left corner. 4-5, what a game of futsal. And the Eagles are right back into this game. See on that replay, I believe there may have been a deflection and it just confused Dudek, and he couldn't quite get down to that bottom right corner quickly enough. Vlasic controlled again well by Matthias. He'd been doing that all game, but Jar Jar does well defensively. It's now Hardy, and the Eagles now have the momentum. One goal changes everything in futsal. And as you see here, Asadi pounces onto that ball, gives it off. DeWitt, Vlasic on the defence. Jar Jar, steady. DeWitt, Asadi, DeWitt again. And that ball goes out and they win the possession back to the Coburn Wolves. Vlasic, Dudek, long ball, and that will go over everyone, you'd think. Shoots might have got a slight head to it, but ends up with Hardy. Jar Jar, good ball through to DeWitt, controls. Back to Amr Atta. Amr Atta again receiving from Estragi and in fact Asadi, and the shot, big save there by Dudek. Forcing the corner, Amr Atta to take. Straight into the hands of Dudek, so clean. And now Shoots onto it, keeps it in. One-on-one with Jar Jar, Lucas Shoots, shot, goal! Lucas Shoots, what a star he is. Puts another one past Hardy. I believe that may be his first for the evening. He had a few assists, but I might be wrong, but 6-4 now the lead. He's been sublime as Shoots, and the Coburn Wolves just extend that lead and give themselves a nice little buffer. You see on that replay, a great finish. Back post chance here, but Sadi wasn't there on the ball from Atta. Here's a long ball by Dudek. Through, overrun though by Atta. Now shoots again. Does well, now loses it. Jar Jar will win the foul, held by Shoots. And Jar Jar, the recipient of that foul against Lucas Shoots. He'll give that to Asadi. Asadi almost loses his footing. Now he loses the ball. Now Shoots can get another one. And he does. No, he doesn't. Off the post. Torres loses it. Asadi, can he keep it in? No. But it was a costly slip there by Asadi. He wasn't punished in the end, but wasn't far off was that Shoots shot. Torres, Shoots, Rivera. And just behind Vlasic, trying to find him there in the middle. We're over the halfway point of this second half. The Eagles need a goal and they need one soon if they want to make a push to get back into this game. There's a lot of time to go. Here is Amr Atta. Gets it through. No, he doesn't. Vlasic on the intercept. He can have a shot himself, and that's wide. The call is for the corner, but it will be a goal throw by the looks of it. It's taken by Ethan Hardy. Stragian, Asadi, DeWitt, great ball, unbelievable ball. Now Asadi, can he finish? He can! What a goal! An unbelievable ball. I believe it was DeWitt with that little tap to the outside, and Asadi with a nice little final dribble. And that extra touch just found him the space to get that finish, and that finish was from a tight angle as well. And the Arqam Eagles, once again, are not going. They are not going anywhere. I mentioned earlier, the last game the Coburn Wolves played, they drew 8-8. And this game is heading in a similar direction. Very high scoring. Here's the side ball. Ended up with Rivera from Silas, but it'll be restarted. Silas to take again. It might be Vlasic. Vlasic now. Gives it off. That is so dangerous. Now a chance. The Eagles through the middle lose it now. And here's a 2-on-1. Shot by Vlasic. He probably should have gone to Shoots. He had Lucas Shoots wide open, and he took the shot. But a few crucial turnovers from both teams, and Ethan Hardy put an end to that play. Rivera cuts it back, almost out of the reach though. Done well was Silas. Shoots, jumps around. Asadi did well. Nice little cut back by Silas. Through to Shoots, loses it. Now a 2-on-1 on the counter. Amro Atta to equalise. Back post, Shoots gets a boot in there. Still a chance, no. And that'll be last off of Lucas Shoots. So a corner for the Eagles. As Asadi comes off, Oliveira comes on for the Eagles. Just under 9 minutes remaining. Chance immediately impacting is Oliveira. DeWitt was waiting in the wings, but that'll be last touch off Amr Atta. Vlasic off to Golub. Golub through to Silas. And this game will go on as almost like everyone stopped and the foul was finally called. And that will be an Eagles ball. Estragian. Amr Atta. Estragian. Atta. Will he take it down the line? We tried, but the flick was out of the reach of Oliveira. That's a nice ball through the middle by Silas. Finding Shoots. That's 3 to beat. He'll reset. Gives it off. Well done. Worked hard for that one there, did Silas. Golub. Vlasic. Shoots, tries to spin on Astragian, but Astragian up to the task. And it'll be taken now from the side. Here is Shoots. It might be Vlasic to have a shot. Blocked by Atta. Now another shot, this time by Golub. And that will be an equal ball. And the call is last off of Golub, and a yellow given to Golub, who wasn't happy with the decision. 3 fouls each in this second half, and whilst there's no trouble yet, you'd expect in a game like this with the physicality, and you can see a bit of discussion there between the fans and, I believe, Amr Atta. But all in good spirits, it did appear. Here's Atta. Long ball, dangerous, and Vlasic has to clear, but the Eagles are on top at the moment. It'll be taken by DeWitt. DeWitt, can he get that through? He can't. That'll go straight into the breadbasket of Michael Dudek. Now a chance for Silas on the counter. He'll reset. Golub now. Vlasic. Golub. Back to Silas now. Golub down the line. It's a good one. Find Silas who can keep it in. And that'll be last off of Silas. An Ewood ball. Now on the counter. DeWitt with a shot. Big save there by Michael Dudek. Silas, turnover. Oliveira. Atta finished, is it? No. That might have found it. He just couldn't get the connection. He was after Astragian. Atta, chance. And that's fairly comfortably saved at the near post there by Dudek. Forcing a side ball. On it comes Pavlovic, and Pavlovic does have a history with kicking winning goals. It was just a few weeks ago, Orlando Pavlovic kicked the winning goal in a 5-4 victory against the Condors. They were down 4-0 in that game. Can he have an impact coming out now? As Golub will take. In defence here, he'll give it to Vlasic. Silas, back to Vlasic. And now Shoots, and there are no rush to Wolves. Lucas Shoots through the middle, and the ball's behind Vlasic. Going to be taken now by Atta. And it's great to see a big crowd here tonight for this game. Coburn Wolves are probably one of the better attended teams in the Supa-Liga. They always get a good number of people coming down to watch them, as do the Arqam Eagles. Here is Golub. Finding Shoots, tried to get it back to Golub, couldn't. Pavlovic had a shoulder, had an arm over the shoulder by Shoots, no foul calls. Chance, Atta, big save by Dudek in goals, preventing the finish, which was definitely on target. They were going straight in. Now Astragian from the sideline. The Eagles have all the momentum. And is that a corner? No, it's a goal throw. Long ball by Dudek. And they'll just reset. And it did appear to be a corner initially, and good to see the right call has been made in the end. Here's Astragian. Pavlovic, shot, saved by Dudek. Dudek now. Silas. Vlasic back to Silas. Vlasic again. He might go back to Silas now, who will look the other way now. Go to Golub. Down the line. Vlasic, 1-on-1 with Oliveira. Oliveira set defensively strong. Tries to get that through Vlasic, but too far out of the reach for Silas to track down. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this unbelievable game of futsal. 6-5 the lead for the Coburn Wolves. Here's Pavlovic. Atta. Astragian. Oliveira has Astragian again. Can he finish? No, couldn't get anything on it. Now a chance for the Wolves to go the other way. They can't. It'll be the Eagles onto it again. Oliveira gets it through to Pavlovic, just out of his reach though. And the Wolves will regain possession. Long ball by Dudek. Matthias shoots. Might get a shot off. He does, and Hardy. And he swats that straight up. For a moment I was thinking it might drop in, but straight over the crossbar. Forcing the corner now to be taken by Golub. Golub, Vlasic, shot blocked. Now a chance on the counter. Oliveira, chance for Arta, and it's wide. Massive opportunity goes begging for the Arqam Eagles. Down is Michael Dudek. Didn't exactly see what happened. Hopefully all is okay. There have been a few players who have come out of this game so far worse for wear. As you would expect with such a physical game. Coming into this game remarkably, Lucas Schutz has had 17 goals and 15 assists. And no one else is really near in either category for the Coburn Wolves. And he's been electric here tonight again. For the Arqam Eagles, it's Miguel Oliveira leading all goal scorers with 11 for the season. Included in that was a hat-trick. And he might need something similar to finish off this game if the Arqam Eagles are going to get up. Here's a long ball by Dudek. Oliveira gets involved. Golub almost tried to let it go out. And he will get the result he was after. A Wolves possession. Vlasic turns it over. Estragian received from DeWitt. Vlasic wins it back. Vlasic still now on the counter. Finds Matthias. Can't get a boot to it. And Pavlovic gets back strong defensively. But a strong effort from both players on that play. 4.5 minutes to go. Vlasic. Matthias. Down goes Matthias, and the foul called on Estragian. And that is 5. No, that's 4 fouls for either team. So both teams still not in danger yet, but 4 fouls each. And now Matthias to take the free kick.
Tuck in.
Matthias all the way to shoot. Shoots with a shot. And that looked good, that shot, but the block made there by Oliveira. Chance for Vlasic, and that's wide. Hardy, long ball. Oliveira can't keep it in. And it'll be taken from the sideline here by Golub. Gives it to Schutz. Schutz now down the line to Golub. He's got Matthias, can't get it through. Well done by DeWitt defensively. DeWitt now, in comes Schutz. Back to DeWitt, ball was behind him. And the ball from Oliveira was just behind DeWitt. Otherwise a chance. 2-on-1 now. Chance for Matthias. And the ball from Schutz probably wasn't the best. He had a bit of height on it. And he probably needed to keep it on the ground for Matthias. Now Estragian shoots and the shot's blocked. And he had Oliveira as well. As Oliveira lets him know about it. He'll take the corner now. Gives it off. Now Pavlovic. Shot blocked by Schutz, and he'll go on the counter. He'll go down, and that's 5 fouls. The Arqam Eagles can ill afford another foul. Otherwise, they'll be facing a 10-metre penalty. They cannot afford a foul. Neither can the Wolves, though. The Wolves, another foul for them would put them into 5 fouls as well. Here is Vlasic. He'll give it to Shoots. Shoots, Golub. Probably not the best ball. Is a handball called? It's not. Matthias. Golub. Vlasic, Matthias. Cuts it through the middle now. Still going Matthias. Jar Jar defending Matthias. Shot wide right, but a great run by him. Cut it to the outside, then cut it through the middle and almost put a dagger in this game. Now Asadi. Through the middle, DeWitt. Tried to turn his opponent, chose against it. Good ball by Atta. Asadi. Atta. DeWitt. Through ball, can't get to his man. Long ball now by Dudek. Golub can't keep it in. Atta to DeWitt. Long ball really to no one, straight into the middle of the Wolves defence. And that's going to be an Eagles possession. And they've got to be very, very careful with any contacts, the Arqam Eagles, to make sure that they don't end up at the 10-metre penalty line. And you'd think the Wolves would wisely be trying to make the most of any contact and draw a foul. Here is Atta. Atta through the middle. Asadi, good ball behind him, almost found DeWitt. Now on the counter, Vlasic turns it over. Now a chance, and just out of the reach of DeWitt from Jar Jar's ball. What a game we are seeing. 6-5 the lead. This would make it 7-5. Matthias with a shot. And the block there by Jar Jar. And the timeout is called, and with 2.5 minutes to go, 6-5 is the lead. Don't go anywhere. At the end of this timeout, we have got an amazing 2 minutes to come. And we're back now for the final couple minutes of play here at Perth Mod Subiaco. And it is the Arqam Eagles desperate for an equaliser, whilst the Coburn Wolves are desperate to either hold on or to try and extend this lead and put this game beyond doubt. Here is Matthias to be taking the corner for the Wolves as they try and put a dagger in the game. Shoots with a shot, saved by Hardy, and now the Eagles have got to go. And they do. Here is Asadi, cuts it through the middle. DeWitt, nice footwork, but Matthias gets there and just heavy on that second touch from DeWitt. It was a nice initial move, but then lost it. But they'll keep possession as Hardy now playing off his line. Jar Jar gives it to Asadi. Asadi now has a whole wall of Wolves players ahead of him. They are back in defence strong at the moment. DeWitt just out of the reach of Asadi. And the clock is ticking, 2 minutes on the dot for the Eagles to find an equaliser. It is so crucial, this game. Matthias. Out to shoots. Shoots, turnover. Now a chance for the Eagles, just behind DeWitt, and he went down hard. And there's just been about 3 or 4 balls where the Eagles have just put it behind the intended target over the last really 10 minutes. And if any of them had found the receiver in stride, it may have been an equaliser for the Eagles. There's just a bit of sweat being wiped off the court. And we're about to get back underway for the final 100 seconds of the game. The ball goes out into touch. Brought in by Jar Jar. They've got to go, the Eagles. Here is Amro Atta, Asadi. The Wolves have to be strong in defence if they want to hold on. And that's all they need to do, force the turnover. Torres, Matthias, shoots. Can he get a shot off? And they'll just be happy to waste a bit of clock here. The Eagles are going to have to press, and they'll win the ball back here. They've got a chance, just over a minute remaining. This game's had a bit of everything. The Eagles had led at half-time 3-2. The Wolves have led really ever since the first few minutes of the second half. And now the Wolves still lead. Here is Atta. Nice defence there by Matthias, getting his right boot in the way. And now it'll be brought in. Here is Jar Jar. Under a minute remaining now. Asadi, DeWitt, ball out of the reach of Atta. Torres now, long ball. He might have found the back of the net, no. Hardy does well getting back on his line. Turnover here by Jar Jar. DeWitt recovers, and they've got to go, the Eagles. They don't have time to waste. Here's a long ball. Lucas Shoots can put a finishing touch on the game, and he does! Lucas Shoots, footwork unbelievable, and once again finishes, finding the bottom right corner, and he has just taken over this second half. Every goal has almost been either an assist or a goal involving Shoots, and that should do it. The goal that they've been after, and the Eagles now, they'll play a bit of fly keeper now. They need 2 goals in the space of 34 seconds. It's not over, but it's going to take a lot now. It's going to take a bit of luck as well. There's a chance off of Vlasic, they'll get the corner. DeWitt, here's the chance. Hardy in goals, shot, and nowhere near it there by Atta. And it's looking like it's going to be too much. What a goal that was by Lucas Shoots. Went left, went right, went left, and then put it in that bottom right corner. And a bit of physicality here now. Asadi not happy with no call there on Torres. I think it did end up getting called. It did, and that will be 5 fouls now for each team. And just a discussion now between the referee and player. And now both teams are on 5 fouls. It may not have a huge impact, but foul called there on Torres. So any foul now will result in a 10-metre penalty. Here's DeWitt. They've got to score 1 now and score another. And that'll be a Wolves ball, is it? No, it'll be an Arqam Eagles possession. They've got a chance here. They've got to go. DeWitt goes long, finds Atta, back to DeWitt. Clock is running. They've got to find the back of the net, and that should do what you'd think. Ethan Hardy was there at that back post, playing out of goals. And you'd think the Arqam Eagles are going to come up short here tonight. Now shoots on the counter, still going shoots. Finds Matthias, can he get one shot off? He can't, but that will do us. The Arqam Eagles were valiant, but the Coburn Wolves, what a win that is. They were challenged, they were asked questions of, and every single time they had the answers. What a win by the Coburn Wolves. But both teams will take a lot of positives out of this game. Don't go anywhere because we have a huge game coming up. The West Coast Cobras are going head-to-head with the Condors live from Perth Mod in just a few moments, so don't leave your seats.